Hey, what's up, you guys? It is I, V&A Moreno, in the pre-show, before the free show, and across from me is Mr. Greg Tepper.
Matt Stepp just retweeted something. Hello, hi. Matt Stepp retweeted something from our friend Ashley Elam down there in the, I think it's the Hardin Jefferson now, Hardin Jefferson ISD, that Coach Zach Bass, who is, I believe...
This is breaking news?
No, well,
okay.
kind of, sort of. Yeah, he's the Hardin Jefferson head coach. Football coach. He is announcing a track meet, and also he is filling out the Dave Campbell's questionnaire.
Let's go.
I'll send you this tweet, and we can put it in final thoughts.
Okay.
But it's a great tweet.
Okay.
It's about as good of a tweet as I've ever seen.
Send it on.
But or Steph put it in our social Slack, but I will send it to you directly.
Let's go.
I want to talk about grammar here for a moment.
Okay. Wait, but if anyone caught that, what did you fling in the studio there?
I don't know. It was like a wristband of some kind.
It was a headband because we have our pickleball tournament coming up.
A headband?
Yeah, it had like DCTX on it. It was a headband. Adam wore it this morning. So that's what you just flung across the control room. So if anybody caught that. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
I want to talk about grammar.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I got introduced to I'm a grammar nerd. I'm a guy who I have a newspaper journalism degree in 2008 on purpose. And so I love words, and I love the English language, and the English language is a living, breathing things, and I learn things every day. Are you familiar with the concept of a contronym?
A contronym?
I knew this existed, but I didn't know it had a name. But a contronym. Contronym. So you know, familiar. Like a synonym would be like, let's just say, dark and black and things. The words that mean the same thing, right?
Yes.
An antonym would be opposites, right?
Yes. Like
so full and
black?
empty, right?
Okay.
A contronym is a word that, depending on its context, can mean opposite things. Okay? I will give you an example.
Okay.
Dust.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
If I go like this, that means that there is dust. Those are dust particles.
Okay.
Right? If I were to dust them, I would be removing them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if I had a cake and I were to dust it with powdered sugar? I would be adding particles. It's the same word, but it means the exact opposite.
So they have to be the same.
Yes. I'll give you another example.
This is amazing.
Garnish.
What's wrong with you?
Garnish can mean to furnish, as in like with food preparations, you're going to add garnish, right?
A little garnish, yeah.
Or your wages can be garnished, which means that they're taken away. I'll give you another one. What about the word off? Okay? If I go and I flip the switch is off. But if there were a siren that were going off in here, it would mean that the alarm was on, was activated.
Yeah,
This is the one that struck me, and this is why I thought of it.
Okay, go ahead.
And credit to my friends at the Dumb Zone, one of my favorite podcasts, for putting this out. Oversight. Okay?
Ooh,
so it can mean that you're monitoring things or that you failed to oversee it.
Oh,
it can mean you see something or you don't see something. Oversight. I love it.
Oh man. Is there? I'm trying to go through my vocabulary.
What about put out? Okay. If I put out a magazine, that means I'm producing a magazine. But if I put out a fire, that means I'm ending a fire.
I can't.
I got a whole list of them.
Can this be the
Contronyms are your new favorite grammatical idea.
Oh my gosh.
Words with contradictory meanings. I love it. That's a perfect March pre-show.
That's a Greg Tepper pre-show. I
just love grammar. Get yourselves an AP style book. All right, hit a theme expo. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show sitting on a chair. My name is Greg Tepper. I'm the editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or you'll listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, twisting and tweaking, sliding the sliders. There are sliders over there, right?
There is.
Yeah. And are there levers?
She's
VNA.
There's all sorts of buttons back here, and a big wheel. Remember,
there's a big wheel. That's how we get That's how we get the internet going. Is we have to crank the wheel.
Yes.
All the way around. Today is Thursday, March 12th, 2026. Only 259 days till Thanksgiving. So maybe start putting together your Thanksgiving plan. Think on it. Happy belated birthday to two of our colleagues. Tuesday was the birthday of our good friend, Kimmy Gooding.
Yay! Happy birthday, Kimmy.
Kimmy is among the chief reasons the lights are on around here.
Yes.
Like, she keeps the lights on here. Shout out to Kimmy. And then yesterday was the birthday of our senior college writer, Mike Craven.
Let's go.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday, Craven.
You can hear him on the Dave Campbell's College Football Podcast, along with Carter Yates. Happy birthday, Craven. Although he put in there, he was like, he put in the Slack when everybody was wishing him a happy birthday, something along the lines of,
stop.
Yeah, I think it was something along the lines of he's not really sure when he gets to his age if it gets to be a happy birthday.
Oh, gosh.
As somebody who is, I'll never catch him, but who is rapidly approaching that age, girl, same, is episode 1900. On today's show, folks.
There you go.
1922. On today's show, folks, we got Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
We're going to take a deeper dive into the 2026 Dave Campbell's Texas high school football program rankings. We'll kind of give you a quick refresher, and then we'll take a look at the programs that are on the rise the fastest and teams that are falling in the rankings. We'll take a look at those. And then back half of the show, Matt Stepp caught up with the head coach of the Mansfield Summit Jaguars, Coach Shannon Hall. We will hear from him coming up here at the back half of the program if you stick around with us. Do we have first four through the door?
We do. We have Tony Blaylock, C-Dog 441906.
Hell yeah, brother.
And Rod Jarman 2064. Hey, guys.
Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us here on a Thursday. It's actually chilly around here in the DFW Metroplex. But hopefully, I had to send Hank and Max to school today in coats. And
what?
Yeah, cause, it was cold.
It was pretty chilly.
And Max was just like, what the helly with this?
What the hecky?
and we told him, we were like, we hope this is the last day you have to wear a coat, at least till like October.
It's Texas. You just never know.
Anyway, but it is Thursday, and in the off season around here on Texas Football Today, that means one thing and one thing only. That's right. It's time for Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday. Here on Texas Football Today, where we dive inside the numbers of Texas high school football. And the good news for us here at the Math Tuesday department is that we got plenty of numbers to talk about. Specifically, earlier this week, on Monday, we unveiled the 2026 Dave Campbell's Texas Football High School Football Program Rankings. high school football program rankings in which we take every UIL Texas high school football program and rank them 1 through 1,216, I think it is. At least the programs that have played at least 6 varsity seasons. We want to give you first a quick refresher on how this looks. You can find the complete rankings on TexasFootball.com. But let's get a quick refresher on how the rankings work. Okay? These are 6-year program rankings, right? And they are based on 5 factors over the last 6 seasons of Texas high school football. Pretty easy to understand. Games won, which is how many wins did you have over the last 6 games or 6 seasons relative to the maximum possible. So if you're an 11-man team, you can win up to 96. And if you're a 6-man team, you can win up to 90. Winning percentage. How many of the games that you actually played did you win? So, for example, if you go 11-3, then you are going to have a better record. It'll benefit you more than if you went 10-1, because we include both the games won and the winning percentage, because you won more of the possible number of possible games. 10-win seasons. Out of the last 6 seasons, how many of them did you cross the 10-win threshold? Seems pretty simple. State titles. Okay? Probably don't have to explain it. In the last 6 years, how many state championships did you win? And finally, title game appearances. How many times did you make it to a state championship game? So yes, if you win a state championship, you kind of get the double bonus, because you get the bonus for being in the title game, and then you get the bonus for the state championship game. And I won't bore you with the numbers, but basically all of those things are set against a 100-point scale. So if you were a team that went 96-0 and won 6 state championships and had the greatest run in Texas high school football history, you would have a perfect 100. And if you went 0-96 or 0-90 for a 6-man team, you would have an imperfect 0. And so, as a reminder, here were the top 10 teams in the Texas high school football program rankings, according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football, that came out on Monday on TexasFootball.com. A new number 1 at the very top, which is the Carthage Bulldogs, 85-3, those 4 state championships. Gunner is 2nd, South Oak Cliff 3rd, Galena Park North Shore 4th, Aledo, Duncanville, DeSoto, Gordon, Franklin, and Shiner. And I'll tell you, when we were designing this system and designing this metric, we did kind of tweak it at times to make sure that it felt right to us. Like, I want to make sure that there's not someone that's like, oh, actually, Pflugerville Hendrickson is better than, Carthage. This to me feels right. The top 10 programs here in Texas high school football, this does feel like the best 10 programs in Texas high school football over the last 6 seasons. But one of the interesting things about doing this year to year is that you get to see the trajectory of programs and which programs are on the rise, which programs are falling, where these programs are heading. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that every year you get a new 6 seasons. So, in this last year's rankings reflected the 2019 to 2024 rankings, okay? 2024 seasons. These rankings now move up a year. It's going to be about 2020 through 2025. So, if you want to know how you rise and fall in the rankings, you take the season that is falling off and you compare it to the season that is onboarding, right? That's a quick and dirty way to do it. If you are losing a terrible season, I'll give you an example. Bay City. Bay City had an 0-9 record in 2019. They were 0-9. This past year, I think they went 10-2, maybe 9-3. They had a really nice year. They are going to shoot up in the rankings because they are replacing a bad season with a good season. The inverse holds as well. So all that being said, let's take a look at the 5 biggest risers in this year's Texas high school football program rankings. The number 1 ranked team moving up, the Terrell Tigers, who went from 891 to 449, up 442 spots. And you can see why. In 2019, they went 1-8. That season drops off of the rankings, and into the rankings goes a 12-1 mark, their best season in years and years and years. What an unbelievable job Marvin Sedbury did with the Terrell Tigers. Crum is up next. Crum up from 919 to 481, up 438 spots. And again, pretty easy. You go from 0-10 to 10-1. You flop those in. You add in the bonus, remember, that you're getting for a 10-win season. For Crum, that's why they made that big leap. Same thing goes for three-way. The Braves went from 983 to 566 because they replaced a 2-8 season with an 11-2 season. Same thing goes for the Cardinals of Bridge City. From 900 to 492, a 408 spot jump because they added that 11-2 mark in replacement of the 2019 mark when they went 2-8. And then finally, way out west, El Paso, El Dorado. The Aztecs went from 816 to 427, up 389 spots. Thanks to losing that forgettable 2019 season and adding in a 10-2 mark. So those are the programs that were the fastest risers from 2025 to 2026. Now, there is a flip side to this, and we don't love talking about it, but there are programs that are replacing great 2019s. They wish they could go back to 2019 with 2025 seasons where maybe they struggled. And so let's take a look at the teams that have fallen the fastest in this year's program rankings. At the top is Rice Consolidated. The Raiders went down 410 spots to 835. You can see that in 2019 they were 11-2. It's a breakout year for the Raiders. But since then, they've just been 24-37. And that, now they lose that 11-2 year, it drops in the rankings. The next two are really interesting because McLean and Blum played each other in the state championship game. If you remember, the 1A Division I state championship game back in 2019. Blum beat them. Well, since then, McLean has gone 28-32. Blum has been 500, 33-33. And as a result, they each dropped about 400 spots in the rankings because they're losing that magical run to AT&T Stadium back in 2019. Van Vleck is down in 395 spots. They went 11-2 back in 2019. That now falls off of the 6-year program rankings. And since then, they've been 25-38. And then finally, Woodsboro. Woodsboro, they're replacing a season that was doing a lot of the heavy lifting for them in the rankings. That 12-1 season, that breakout season, is in 2019, falls off. Since then, they've been just 15-45. So those are the programs that are the fastest fallers. Now, I will say, coming out, I think today on TexasFootball.com, is Carter Yates has a piece on teams he thinks could make the next leap in the program rankings. And it's twofold. That's a twofold thing because he's looking at teams that were in 2020 that didn't have a great year, that are also trending up or could have a breakout 2026 season. Because that's how these program rankings work. You want to make sure you're replacing bad seasons with good seasons every time it shifts a year. And, of course, teams like Terrell did an unbelievable job of replacing a lackluster 2019 with a bonzo 2025 season. So there it is. A look at the fastest risers and fallers in Texas high school football. In the program rankings, you can find the complete program rankings on TexasFootball.com. I will say, I mentioned Bay City because I got a tweet from a coach who said, hey, the record is wrong. There have been a couple of small changes to them. I've updated them because there were a couple of, I won't bore you with the way that the spreadsheet works, but there were a couple of errors in there, just coding errors that I had to go through and fix. Nothing major changing, but there were a couple of programs that have moved because of that. So make sure you go check out the rankings, TexasFootball.com, the 2026 Dave Campbell's Texas football, high school football program rankings, exclusively on TexasFootball.com. We are at Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. I hope you'll go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Get the 2026 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, the reason I have bags under my eyes. Get it mailed to you before it hits newsstands. If you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Makes a great gift as well. What's a holiday that's coming up? Easter.
Yeah.
Put a subscription in your friend's Easter basket.
Yeah.
TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Coming up here after the break, Matt Stepp caught up with the head coach of the Mansfield Summit Jaguars, Coach Shannon Hall. But first, a word from these valued partners.
Pour some sunshine with new First Light Community Coffee's first ever light roast. This blend has notes of honey and brown sugar that will brighten any part of your day. Try First Light now at communitycoffee.com.
Hello, Candace.
Not you again.
Me again. Remember our last oil change? Your boyfriend said he knew a guy who knew a guy. None of those guys knew what they were doing, including you, Todd.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch our experts change your oil right from your car.
Thanks for coming in.
And finish in about 15 minutes. Valvoline. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Son, it's time we had the talk.
Ugh, Dad, gross.
Listen, you just got your license, your hormones are raging. When things get moving fast, it can get dangerous. That's why it's more important than ever to always wear protection.
Dad!
I'm talking about a seatbelt.
Okay. Can we go now?
Saved by the belt. Wearing a seatbelt can save you $200 in fines and your life. So click it or ticket. Every seat, every ride. A message from TxDOT.
Friday night football is here, and Hometown is trusted by thousands of schools across the nation to make game days effortless. Sell tickets online, easily scan them at the gate, track sales in real time, and keep your community connected with a free athletic website. Make every game a Hometown game. Visit hometown.com to learn more.
Every legend starts with a vision. For Dave Campbell, that vision was clear. Tell the story of Texas football like never before. In 1960, he built something no one had before, a magazine that became the Bible of Texas football. Coaches, players, and fans didn't just read it, they lived by it. His words shaped the game. His vision built a legacy. And his name? It will always be written in the story of Texas football. Dave Campbell's Texas Football, where legends begin.
Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, here at the I-20 Coaches Clinic in Arlington, and I'm here with the head coach, who didn't have to drive very far, the head coach of the Mansfield Summit Jaguars, Coach Shannon Hall. Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
First off, Coach Chris in this clinic continues to grow. Just talk about how nice and convenient it is for you to have a clinic just right down the road if you can come in here and talk some ball with some guys.
Yeah, just right up the street. You know, probably about an 8-minute drive for me. Got to be in off season, get here and get learned up with some football and with some great speakers that Coach Chris, Coach Lynn has put together for us, and just keeps growing and growing, and just excellent football talking, straight ball. Nobody's holding secrets, and they're giving you everything you want. And then the Q&A is outstanding as well. So we're excited to be here.
Not just clinic talk, right?
Everything.
Yeah. There you go. All right, Coach. But first off, I want to talk about UIL realignment, where it's almost a month away since realignment. Right, it seems like yesterday. It's how fast time flies, and you know, it's not like it used to be. Used to be, you didn't know what division you were going to be in, what classification you were going to be in. And now the UIL releases it a little bit at a time. So you knew going in that you were going to be 5A Division I, making the move up. And then you get your packet, you get your district. Obviously, it's going to be a tough district. What was your message to your guys, and kind of was that kind of something you expected, just geographically where you were located, being in a tough district?
Yeah, I mean, what we expect is we're always seem like that Mansfield Summit, we're in the District of Doom. You know, we're always in one of the toughest districts in the state of Texas. I feel like we never have it easy, and probably never want it to be easy. So, moving up 5A1, we understood what that looks like. No matter where they put us, it was going to be a challenge. And I think we were in one of the toughest districts in the state last year in 5A Division II. So it is what it is, and our guys know the standard is the standard. So whoever shows up, we got to get ready for them. And that's how we prepare, and we make sure we change some things up off-season wise, no matter who it was, just expecting the jump, expecting that we got to up our game, expecting being in the playoff drought. So we're going to be ready to go. Off-season's going well, so we're fired up.
You know, last time you guys were 5A Division I, you made some really deep playoff runs. You guys were state semifinalists, I believe, in back-to-back years. Yep. So it's not no secret with some of his Division I, guys are still able to compete very well. Now, looking at off-season, what kind of – tell us what phase in off-season you guys going to do spring ball, kind of what the plan is for the next couple of months. Because, we all know spring with Texas – people think Texas high school football coaches are busy during the season, but I feel like you guys are busier in the spring.
Is it. Everything's going on right now. You got football. You got the basketball playoffs. You got soccer. You got baseball, softball. So track. So everything's going on. So this is the busiest part, and we like to get all of our guys competing powerlifting. So everybody's doing something, and everybody's trying to learn how to compete, learn how to win, learn how to grind. So that's the phase we're at. But in off season, a lot of movement, a lot of speed, lifting 3 days a week, but working on some movement stuff, kind of spoon feeding them a little football stuff now, but they got to kind of earn that, I believe. But it's going well, man. Just trying to get bigger, faster, stronger, like everybody else. Trying to make sure mentally that we're taking a step forward, and just getting ready for spring ball, which we're going to have, and getting ready to hit some people and get ready to earn some spots. That's going to be key for us.
How do you find that balance? Spring ball usually later in the spring. You may have some guys. You're probably hoping you have guys that are in track and they're running in regional meets and maybe competing for spots at the state track meet. You may have baseball guys that are still going. How do you kind of balance keeping those guys fresh for their sports, or do you not even, if they're in season, do you not even want them to participate in spring ball? Kind of how do you find that balance?
Our balance is we kind of back up spring to our area track meet, so we'll kind of do some installation stuff, and so once track gets over, we'll probably miss the guys that make it to regional and state. We'll kind of miss.
But you're hoping we're
hoping that's a good thing. If they're running that fast, we can figure out the rest. Later on. So
you'll find a spot for them.
We'll find a spot. Yeah, that'd be okay. So that's kind of how we balance and try to trick ourselves into making sure everybody's involved in spring. And when those guys are absent, you get to find some depth. You know what I mean? So that's always good. So we're going to use it and see who's aggressive, and you get that base in spring, and then you kind of build it during the summer hours, and then make it work.
Now, you always lose a group of seniors, and some starting spots are up for grabs here in the spring and in the offseason. What are some spots that you're looking for some guys to step up this offseason and maybe snatch those spots when spring ball rolls around?
Yeah, primarily, I think it's offensive line. We got some young, we got some good options there. We got a center coming back. And
never heard a coach tell me he had too many offensive linemen.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly. Got Iman Pritchett coming back, and Santiago on the tackle side coming back with it. But we feel like we got some good young prospects that's going to kind of fold and see what that looks like. So that's kind of the biggest spot. Returning 8 or 9 on defense, returning some. All those guys back, and then from a skill position, 2 receivers, running back. So, we feel like we got enough right now, but we just kind of find all those little bitty spots, get the depth in the O-line, get the depth in the back, and then just see who wants to be hungry.
One of your defensive guys, recently, Cameron Hall, just committed to the University of Texas. I watched him last year, week 11, very impressive specimen. What can Texas Longhorn fans expect to see from Cameron Hall when they get him on the 40 acres after he finishes his career?
Well, after he finishes, they're going to get. He's such a great kid. Everybody, he's going to Texas. Everybody, he's 6'6", all the 6'4", 6'5", all the 260, 265, and all impressive, runs a 4.6. But he's a more of an impressive human being than that. So he's a worker. He's a grinder. He always wants to be good. Always wants to get better. And we're expecting him to lead the troops. With that group, we got a lot of guys coming back. He's going to lead them. But, we got guys next to him that think they're pretty good, too.
Yeah.
And they know odds are going to be there because of him, and they need to do their part, too. So as a whole group, his personality and that everybody loves him, that he makes everybody go, and everybody wants to be good, and he wants those guys to be good, too. So it's a fun group.
What's it say about it when your best, most talented, highly recruited, whatever you want to say, player is a leader and leads by example? It's got to make it's going to be a pleasure to coach a kid like that.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. That's what you want. That's what you want. You want your best guys to be your hardest workers. Be the A and B students, be high character guys, and he does that, and which makes that group go. And they got to get that swag, and it just kind of filters all the way down defensively. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for.
There he is, Shannon Hall, the head coach of the Mansfield Summit Jaguars. Coach, appreciate your time. Enjoy the I-20 clinic.
Appreciate you,
and appreciate
Jags.
what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas.
Yes, sir. Thanks for what you do.
Appreciate it.
There is Shannon Hall, head coach of the Mansfield Summit Jaguars, hopping on with Matt Stepp there at the I-20 clinic. Appreciate him taking a little bit of time for us. Let's go over to Vianney Moreno for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Final thought.
Second favorite segment. I need to work on my enunciation.
Maybe there's a contronym for that.
Contronym for that. Yeah.
Hey guys. Wait, I thought you had a little segment for final thoughts.
I sent it to
something.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Earlier in the pre-show, we teased that we had a really cool tweet from our friend Ashley Elam down there in Hardin, Jefferson. This is the time of year where we're asking Texas high school football coaches to fill out their coaches questionnaire. And so the deadline actually is not until it's 2 weeks from today. So coaches, you've still got a little bit of time, but please get it done. Thank you. Anyway, you can see Coach Zach Bass, the great Zach Bass, head coach of the of Hardin Jefferson. There, he is announcing a track meet, battling a random wasp, and look on his screen. That's right. That's Dave Campbell's Texas football coach's questionnaire.
Let's go. That
is dedication. That is a man who understands the assignment. And you know what? Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. VNA, can I get the one shot?
Yeah, I got you.
Zach Bass, you are the Texas Football Today Listener of the Week.
Let's go.
Thank you, Coach Bass.
I wish I had a sound effect.
Thank you, Coach Bass. We appreciate you putting in the effort, and I look forward to hearing all about those Hawks.
That's awesome.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbells. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Shannon Hall, head coach of Mansfield Summit, for being our guest. For VNA Moreno, I'm Greg Tepper. We will see you Monday on Texas Football Today.